In today's video, we're fixing the mount we made for our upgraded rear tire and then moving on to getting rid of this tiny little motor we have here and upgrading it to a 28,000 watt motor. You know, I got a comment on my video last night that said, I wish I was brave enough to start any project. So I figured there's two different ways that can be interpreted. One is, I wish I was brave enough to ride any of our projects because they're death traps. Or two, which is, I'm not brave enough because I don't have enough experience to build those projects, so why would I even bother? Which really got me thinking because, like, I don't know how to do anything when I start the project. Like, I don't know how to build a Power Wheels before I've built a Power Wheels. I didn't know how to do that when I started. So the only way to learn how to do it is to actually just do it. Every time there's a new problem in the process of building whatever you're building, you think about it, you figure out a solution, and then once all the problems are solved, you've done it. And you know, that was the same way for all of my projects. I don't know how to build something before I start. I've got basic ideas. I have a map in my head of what I want because of the idea. But until you actually take 3 lawnmowers and put them together with a 4th one that's detachable and tow it with a 4-wheeler, you don't know how to build a mega mower. And before you put a 250cc 2-stroke 4-wheeler engine in a golf cart with the Watts-Link rear suspension, you don't know how to do it. And only by doing the projects, only by starting and going through the process of actually figuring it out, will you then get the confidence to continue to build stuff that are crazy ideas. You know, I think that there's less than a couple handfuls of people on this planet that could just say, yeah, I could build an off-road boat with 4-wheel steering and a fully functioning crow's nest without ever having built one before. Only by actually starting the project and figuring out all the problems along the way will you learn how to do it, and will you get the confidence and bravery to do it. And that's why I have the confidence to put a 28,000 watt engine in a Barbie scooter. So Kibble5071, thank you for commenting. I appreciate it. And I hope you feel a little bit braver to start your own project, because when I started, I had no tools. I had a Harbor Freight welder and I just wanted to build things, and that's exactly what you should do. Before we can move on to mounting the motor like I want to today, there is an issue with what I did yesterday. This is called rushing, and that's why you get mistakes when you rush. If you look through this, can you see how this side is tilted to the right a little bit more than this backside? Obviously the grinding marks make it look different, but you know, when I take actual measurements, one side's up 1/4 inch more than the other. What I'm gonna do to fix this is, I have this beautiful fixture table, which makes everything square and flush when you use it. Problem is, I am welding onto a bike, so I can't really use the fixture table. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break off these tacks. That's why we only tack, we don't finish weld till we're certain it works. So I'm gonna break off these tacks. I'm gonna cut out 2 tubes that are the correct distance between these 2 pieces. And once I do that, I'm gonna weld them together, but not on the bike. I'm gonna weld them together on the fixture table. That way everything is perfectly aligned. Then I'll be able to slide it up onto the bike, weld it to the bike, and then everything will be perfectly square. So we're gonna take care of that really quick, and then we'll get on to the motor. Chop saw is very nice. It makes cutting replicated pieces over and over and over again to the same length very easy. Recommend going to get one. Get the abrasive saw. Don't put a Diablo blade in it or anything like that because this spins too fast for those blades. Hey, we popped the circuit breaker. Annoying. Super annoying. That was way longer than it should have been. Because the generator just kept popping circuit breakers. I don't understand it. So weird. Grind this off real quick. So it's cleaner. So these can sit flat. See these like little stubs from the tab. Pop that right in there. This holds it perfectly square. Turn the noisemaker back on. Smashed my foot. I am currently trying to weld this up. I'm noticing an issue and a flaw in my logic. This is sitting in there crooked. I have only this side tacked. If you look at this cross member that I welded in solid and you go flat with the table, you can see that it's higher on the right hand side. The problem is probably worse than when I started, so time to cut it all apart and try and make it work again. From right here, if you look down, this tube is not coming off at a perfect 90. It's coming off and drifting to the right. It's drifting up. So weird. The height from the table to these slots are 3 3/8 on both sides, and the flats are the same on both sides. This is definitely contracted in. There's nothing holding them apart out here. So this is like 7 1/4 out here. This is 7 7/16. There's not much I can do to that because the tire's gonna go here. And this axle's gonna go here. Okay, I have come to an executive decision, and it is what I'm sticking with. I'm not cutting this apart again. When I measure these slots from the table, they're both 3 7/8 exactly from the table. As long as these parts are flat and square when I put them on the scooter, then these parts will also be square and the wheel should sit in there perfectly straight. It might look a little bit funky if you look at it from underneath because this isn't square to each other, but these pieces in relation to each other are almost perfect, and that's all that matters. This piece between them not being square is cosmetic at this point, and I just don't like the way it looks, and it's gonna bother me and it's gonna keep me from being able to fall asleep at night sometimes, but I need to move on. There's no point in spending this much time. It's not even a part of a suspension that's gonna be traveling. It is a rigid mounted piece. Oh my God. Thank God. That fits in there so much better. All right, that is a huge relief. Looks so much better now. All right, let's put this motor in this and see how it sits. Oh, my table is getting messy. Wires in first. I think our motor is going to be sticking out on the right hand side quite a bit. Let me show you what's going on here. Our sprocket is on the inside, and our sprocket here is like mostly on the outside, so the motor still needs to go to the right a little bit more. Only problem is I can't shift it over because when I do, it just can't balance there like that. Our tire cannot go all the way forward. This is where we're contacting the motor, and we're contacting quite hard. Really, we only have from like the midpoint to the end, which is a decent amount to chain tension. So I'm not overly concerned about that. I think it's a good place to be right now. What we're gonna do is move this motor back out again, cut this off, then we can start thinking about maybe making a mount for this bottom guy right here. Oops. Got that taken care of. Crisis averted. See how the motor fits in here this time. Should go so much easier. Oh, there's tons of space now. There you go. If we are here, our sprockets are pretty well aligned right like that. That is not half bad. Take a look at this. Hey, there's actually, I think, gonna be plenty of room for this. You know, we'll have the fairing will get cut out, go over top of it. You'll get to see the motor, which is cool. This is looking promising. Very promising. Oh. So I think today is a perfect example of what it's like to work on custom machines, right? I came into today thinking that I was gonna be building my motor mounts and get a huge portion of the project done, but I didn't. I had to fix a mistake that I made yesterday before I could move on. And you know, when that happens, it can be really frustrating, especially when, you know, you're just not working on what you were thinking about the whole time. So now you got to completely change gears, change how you're problem solving, and work through those problems. It's part of why I do love fabricating. You know, I love the fact that at any point throughout the day, I have a whole new set of problems that I've never experienced before. But when you are feeling frustrated, it's always good to stop, pause, and take a breath, and, you know, come into the problem with a clear head, because, you know, something as big as mounting the motor in your project, you want to make sure you do that right, and it's very important that you get it done right the first time, because fixing mistakes is always harder than getting it done the first time correctly. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.